Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. Happy Sunday morning to you all, wherever you may be. What is going on, Clint Nation? Hey, we're live on a Sunday. It's just a little after 9, so that means something had to have happened. And yeah, Andrew Friedman is still cooking. Tanner Scott is joining the Los Angeles Dodgers 4-year deal. Holy crap, a lot of things to react to here. Let's get into it. Of course, you know that guy. That is producer Kevin. Give him a follow, Skinner7Kevin on the Twitter. And he woke up from a nap to find out Tanner Scott is joining the Los Angeles Dodgers. So, wow. That's all we're going to say is wow. Listen. I'll spit for a second here, then we'll throw to you. I've been very vocal on here. I didn't think Andrew Friedman would go to the number that it would need to land Tanner Scott. We assumed the number would start to come down. We're going to get into that number in just a second. But first, raw reactions. Again, literally waking up to text messages saying, what the F, Tanner Scott, go.
Yeah, I'm excited. We talked about it a little bit a couple days ago after the Roki Sasaki signing, which is a crazy sentence in and of itself.
Yeah.
It's insane. That one thing that signing does is it gives the Dodgers financial flexibility to make a move like this. And here we are a couple days later. Tanner Scott, Los Angeles Dodger. I think this is the biggest contract they've given a relief pitcher since Kenley Jansen back in, what was it, 16?
Yeah. Was it 16? Oh man, that was 2016.
17. It was a while ago.
It's a lot of money, and it also comes on the later heels of a 2-year, or what is it? Yeah, 2-year, $22 million for Blake Trinan and all that. Dodgers are spending money. Andrew Friedman told us, and we're going to get a lot into Andrew Friedman later on in the stream. Probably won't be around too long. It is Sunday morning, and I got to watch my Eagles this afternoon. But Andrew Friedman told us at winter meetings, hey, I don't want to spend a lot of time, spend a lot of money, spend a lot of prospects at the trade deadline. Homeboy is going all in. He did not lie. He is going all in this offseason. So before we look at all of the things about this, I want to get this in the can right now, guys. I want to tell you about Bet Online. It continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Today feels like a good day to be using Bet Online. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, Bet Online is the ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. Bet Online is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns, three-pointers, and hat tricks, Bet Online has you covered every game, every play, every win. Bet Online, the game starts here. Now, let's do, I don't know if this is the important thing, but we're going to call it the important thing here. Jeff's the one who said it. Jeff Passan, ladies and gentlemen. And guys, sound off in the comments. I already see a lot of comments going off. Appreciate you guys joining us this, it's not even this early in the morning. It's fucking 9 a.m., but still. Tanner Scott, Los Angeles Dodgers, in agreement, 4-year, $72 million contract. Sources tell ESPN, and when ESPN gets it, that's because it's a done deal. He leaves the Padres. He was the Blue Jays once again were finalists in the Tanner Scott free agency and all that, and they finished once again second, assumedly second to the Dodgers. But MLB's Mark Feinsand was the first on it, and you'll appreciate this, everybody. What does this say? What does Robert Murray, fan-sided, say? That's right. There are deferrals, baby. Oh, God. 4-year, $72 million, $20 million signing bonus because it's the Dodgers, and $21 million deferred. I mean, that's cool, man. This is a fun time to be alive. Let's find some comments about all this kind of stuff and go from there. What are you seeing in the chat?
We got $5 from Glenn Kamita. Thank you, Clayton, Kevin. I'm only worried about Dodgers defense. Could their best lineup include Pages at center field, Edman and Mookie at 2B and shortstop, respectively? I think so. I don't see why it couldn't. And then Jeremy Bird, $4.99. How many future Hall of Famers on this roster?
Ooh, how many is that? Count them out.
Clayton Kershaw, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman are your easy ones. Shohei's on the trajectory. Blake Snell's on the trajectory. If he continues doing what he's doing, you like 5. I think that upper limit's 5, maybe 6.
A fun time. What a fun. I mean, I keep saying the same thing, but that's where I'm at. When you're at a loss of words, it's not really a loss of words. It is a fun time to be a Dodgers fan, and we could touch on the idea again that we talked about on Friday. We went through it's like, oh no, we went through lean years, but in 22 and 23 where not a whole lot happened, particularly in the off seasons. And Andrew wasn't. He wasn't willing to blow the money that he knew he was going to need to blow in the Shohei offseason, knew he was going to hopefully need to be able to spend this offseason. But since the offseason where they lost Trey Turner, Cody Bellinger, even before then, we talked about it, Justin Turner and all that. What do you add? You add Shohei Ohtani, you add Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you add Tyler Glasnow and extend him. In trade, you add Tommy Edman and extend him. You bring back dudes, Teoscar Hernandez, my sweet Lord. Now you throw in Tanner Scott. Oh, Roki Sasaki, come on down. We've talked a lot and laughed a lot about the idea of the Dodgers ruining baseball, but I mean, I kind of feel ever so slightly bad for other fans or for fans of other teams, but then I just remember I don't care.
No, this isn't bad for baseball at all. This is what teams should be doing. The Dodgers are just, unfortunately for this sport, one of, if not the only team really doing it. The Dodgers don't even have, I think they're outside the top 5 in terms of richest ownership groups. They're just one of one when it comes to actually investing in the product on the field, whether it be free agent signings, whether it be at the minor league level, like we talked about on a couple of shows ago as well. Like this is what they do. And it's awesome. It's great. And it's a fantastic time, like you said, to be a Dodgers fan. $4.99 from Richie Flores. Breaking all bridges and buildings over 4 stories have closed in San Diego. This offseason has been so epic. I'm officially giving Kevin's Kitchen a pass. Woohoo!
Oh, look at that. Love for Kevin's Kitchen right here. I got to make this a super chat button. We got to push the lasers button. We're partying. We're feeling good.
All right,
Coach,
one more then. More than $2 from Don't Care 187. Internet burning down today. Let the crying begin.
A couple more chats and then we'll dive more into it. I see Showtime LA saying Clint would have a Safari browser. Look, this computer that we run off of, I hate Apple products to begin with, but I run the show on Apple now, so I'm sorry. But also, that's the default browser, and I haven't updated it to Google Chrome. Technically, I think the computer, I can say, belongs to the foul territory people. We don't need to get into the semantics of that. Charles Julian in the chat, Coach Julian saying, will Jim Bowden call for an investigation again? Because Jim Bowden, oh my God, I saw the spot on foul, and was that terrible? It was so bad all around.
That was a tough look for Jim Bowden. That was peak old man shakes fist at Sky.
Yeah, that's some embarrassing shit when you see that kind of stuff, man. And I love the Boys of Foul. They didn't help it. They kind of set it up. I mean, it's a more national show than a Dodger Angle show, of course, and they're just gonna parrot what fans might be thinking, what dumb people might be thinking, that the Dodgers had some sort of agreement in place with Roki Sasaki and they need to be investigated. But at the same time, you got somebody like Bowden writing 3 different articles with all the he is the type of dude who goes to the casino and puts $5 on black, $5 on red, and hope it doesn't land on 0. That's what I'll say about that. More in the chat. Duff Time saying, I guarantee that those crying bad for baseball were the same one that screamed Dodgers playoff chokers and Mickey Mouse ring, so screw them. Hope they suffer the entire season. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Of course, Diane in the chat. Whenever I see Diane, I got to remind people, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 9,000 subscribers, and we're getting pretty dang close. O is dead in the chat saying, hey, thanks for going live. Great way to wake up. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us so far. Close to 1,000 people live with us between the Twitter and the YouTube machine, and let's keep it going. Share the show if you can. Let's see what else we got. Don't care 187 says Dodgers have that cheat code on. This feels like the cheat code offseason, but apparently the cheat code is just give the players money.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy?
I know, bananas.
Give them that.
Just throw money at them and look at that. I don't know. Invest in your minor leagues, because when you talk about becoming a free agent destination, it's because the Dodgers treat their players well, and they're known for treating their players well. They're known for investing in their minor league product, which keeps them a continuous when you don't have a good farm system, when you don't have the coaching staff that they do at every level of the minor leagues, you kind of become the Padres. You spend big, but you don't have a lot of depth in the minor league system to continuously be a contender. What we're seeing right now is they hit on Jackson Merrill, and now they're praying that Leo Dallas, DeVry, and Ethan Salas are good, because if it's not them, they have no one else. But if you look at the Dodgers, there's just how many pitchers are going to be in the minor leagues that basically could crack the major league roster on any other organization.
Yeah,
but seeing that people want to come, free agents want to come to this team because they know, oh, well, if they've got that, just waiting in the wings, we'll be good for the rest of my contract.
And these players also, some of them share agents, some of them know each other. They're talking. People are talking. They're talking to one another. Like we heard Tyler Glasnow talk about on Foul Territory this week. Like they all know. They reach out and they're like, listen, man, this is the best organization I have ever played for. And like you said, invest in your product. You see Scotty Braun saying that after I just slightly throw him under the bus a minute ago. But you invest in your product and you make more money. You can be somebody like Artie Moreno. You can be somebody like Dick Monfort, who puts in the bare minimum, and people will still come out and watch games because it's a family thing, and families are a waste of time. But they'll still come out. They're still going to spend enough money to where they're going to make a lot of money. But the owners are going to make a lot of money. But the difference is the Dodgers invest in that product. And again, Dodgers are going to exceed $375 million, as Jeff Passan says, in their luxury tax payroll, and they're not done, because at the bare minimum, we know Clayton Kershaw is coming back. And you're hoping, you're assuming Kiké Hernandez, that probably won't be an insane contract, but it's there. It's there, and there's going to be, you could see a world where the Dodgers maybe crack a $400 million payroll in 2025. And the thing is, they had the money to pay for that luxury tax, to pay that penalty, to help other teams go out and not spend money like they do. A couple super chats. You want to run through those?
Yeah, really fast.
Or go ahead and piggyback off of what you were saying there.
Yeah, they could easily crack $400 million if they give Clayton Kershaw his usual 1 year $20 million. They're at $395, and then give Kiké $8 million just for shits and giggles, and ta-da, they're $400 million. Absolutely, and that doesn't count potential trade deals coming down the pipe. As we approach the trade deadline, because again, injuries happen. Injuries are a thing. You never know what you're going to need at the trade deadline. But getting into these super chats, $1.99 from Richie Flores. I will have bacon, eggs, and a side of Tanner Scott. Absolutely. Dan Daughtry, $1.99. Thank you so much. Small and sausage, $1.99. Perfect timing to go along with sausage and eggs. Get it. And then Dan Weitzman $9.99. No message. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And this is not my meth kitchen, Shakal. It is not a meth kitchen. All right. We cook nothing but food in here and straight facts.
Cooking facts. Hey, let Kevin cook. That's what we like to say. So again, Andrew Friedman not effing around. He told us he did not want to have to work at the trade deadline in 2025, and it looks like it could line up to be a boring trade deadline for the Dodgers, because this team is stacked. The bullpen is good. The starting rotation is good. It's only going to get better as it gets healthier. It's what is it? The wealth of pitches right now, as my buddy D-Mac might say. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy how well built this team is. And I want to go back to talking about ownerships, and of course, the principal owner of the Cubs, I forgot his first name, but Tom Ricketts, coming out crying about, oh my God, we can't spend the kind of money the Dodgers spend, when they're one of the teams that cleared like $500 million in revenue. I
also believe he's top 5 in
wealthiest.
Top 5 wealthiest owner.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Again, you do what the Dodgers are doing. You go out and you spend money, and you're going to get a product that people want to go and watch. You're going to get deeper into postseasons, presumably. We understand postseasons are the playoffs are a crapshoot, but when you get this much talent, you kind of almost idiot-proof your team, and that's not a knock on my friend Dave Roberts. That's not a knock on him, but you idiot-proof this team to where that when injuries happen, when the next person falls, it's not really going to extremely derail you, like it kind of almost did last year, last postseason for the Dodgers. I mean, they had no pitching. They have a lot of it now. And it's good time. Again, the good time to be alive. Let's get some more comments, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. I don't know what that one was about.
Craig Osterberg brought up a good point. He says we also spent $100 million on the stadium. It's another great point.
Yeah. Investing in the product. Yeah.
Yep.
Bob Tan saying next person falls, next man up, and they have those dudes at the minor league level as well. We talked about it a little bit on Friday. This is still the year we probably see the rookie Jackson Ferris. There are still a couple of homegrown, drafted, developed Dodgers coming back with Tony Gonsolin, who we should not sleep on. Tony Gonsolin. We talked a little bit about that. We let you cook about that, and you did cook about Tony G, the Catman. What is it? I'm not going to say that one, but he's somebody who's been very good. He has been an all-star in his career. Like you said, the career 3.19 ERA, and when he's right, he's very, very good. It's not the sexiest name, but to have that as your fifth,
man,
or also not a very sexy man. Who else? Dustin May. Now, could open the season in the starting rotation, could be in the bullpen, could be a trade piece for somebody if he can prove that he can stay healthy. There's just a lot. There's so much here. And Landon Knack, Ben Kasparius, Justin Wrobleski. It's a wealth of talent for the Los Angeles Dodgers. $4.99 from Jeremy Bird. Thank you, Jeremy. Says greatest team on paper in the history of baseball. I mean, you can't argue against it. You absolutely cannot. Like, who is?
Paper, it's got a chance. It's definitely got a chance. I think they've got to live up to their expectations, or what they can do on the field. But yeah, on paper.
I mean, yeah, you think of old Yankees teams, Ruth, Gehrig, DiMaggio, all these type of names. You also think of
Machine.
Yeah, the Murderers Row. You think of the Big Red Machine. You even think of those '90s Yankees teams that were really good. Mostly home built in the early years of it. But I saw a comment early in the stream, and maybe you addressed it, maybe not, but worrying about potential defensive issues for this team.
Yeah.
And we'll get into this more this week. Like, there are some question marks. There are some areas of concern for this team for sure, but it's mostly Mookie Betts playing shortstop. You don't really know what you have at second base yet, but in the outfield, I mean, I like Tommy Edman in center field. I think we should. I don't know that Tommy Edman's going to be that dude who rattled off like 6 homers in a couple of a week or whatever. He's going to be a very, very good ball player. I kind of feel like some of us have put Tommy on a pedestal. Just let him be very, very good and not be like he is not important to he's important. What am I trying to find here? He's not Freddie Freeman. He's not Mookie Betts. He doesn't need to be Shohei Ohtani. He just needs to be somebody at the back end of the lineup, middle part of the lineup, whatever it is, lower third. who is producing, getting on base, wreaking some havoc on the base pass, keep the line moving so we can get back to Shohei, get back to Mookie, get back to Teo, and you get somebody like him and whatever, eventually what Ha-Seong Kim could bring to this team. Michael Conforto, we know he's going to be at least a serviceable ball player, but that's just a great, pretty low risk, high reward addition to this team. And hey, there's also still Andy Pages who will be in the mix. Probably the weakest two players on this team right now are Chris Taylor and Austin Barnes, and I'm seeing some love in the chat. I think it was the opposite of love. I think somebody said, like, what is Austin Barnes, like, what does he have? Why is he still on this roster?
Great backup catcher. I will not listen to any Austin Barnes. He's one of the best backup catchers in baseball. Dan Weitzman, $4.99. Thank you again. Asking where does Hunter got in? I think he's asking where Hunter Fiducia fits in.
And that's why I was leading to that as well, because like Austin, he's the dude. He's entering now his 10th year or 11th season. Is that what it is with the Dodgers? It's 10th or 11th.
2015, I think it's 10th.
Yeah.
He broke with 2015. That was when it's the same with Kiké.
At some point, you would hopefully have a better, better talent as your backup catcher, but if Will gets hurt or if Austin gets hurt, that's where Hunter Fiducia gets in the mix. He's going to be around. He's not going to be a trade bait type of person or whatever. And didn't mention as well, Dalton Rushing probably comes up and makes some sort of difference for this team as well. Another super chat, I think. You want to fire that one
Christopher
off?
Navarro, great Scott. Happy Sunday fun day. It's time for Dodger baseball.
I didn't do the
Sorry
about
best
the lasers.
Christopher Lloyd impression I've got. He can really talk like from the back of his mouth.
It's a little more like back throat and jowly.
Jowly. I didn't know if that was a word. I didn't know if I said
Listen,
that.
you can just make up words right now. Hollow Clip saying or Hollow. No, it is Hollow Clip saying now put Muncy in a trade package for Vladdy Jr. I don't want Vladimir Guerrero Jr. as a third baseman for this team. I would love to have the bat in the lineup. Don't get your hopes up, but also another name we didn't mention, like Max Muncy being in there, probably slightly more important to the run production than Tommy Edman. But listen, they're all important. All Dodgers matter.
And for the fishing industry in San Francisco.
Yes. Something like that. I see what you did there. I understand that reference. Guys, like the show, subscribe to the channel if you have not. We've got almost 1,600 people live with us this morning between YouTube and Twitter, and that's a perfect time to tell you guys. I'm gonna pause for just a second here and tell you guys about a new thing we are happy about here on the channel. We do have a new sponsor on the channel. Gotta tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is the easiest place to play all your fantasy sports, and it is now proudly helping support us here at the All Dodgers podcast. If you want to make some picks on your favorite sports, Underdog Fantasy offers a unique approach to fantasy sports with a simple pick'em style format. You go higher or you go lower, and that's pretty dang easy. So easy, even an idiot like me can understand it. And I'll say this again, I said it earlier this week, I'm looking forward to hopefully playing with some folks, some of y'all, this upcoming season. But here's how it works. Just pick higher or lower on between 2 and 8 players, and you can win up to 325 times your entry. That says 100x. It's up to 325 times if you use our promo code ALLDodgers. You see it right there. New users get a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash, which I hear is just as good as money. Sign up at underdogfantasy.com today. Download the app or just click the link in the description of this video below. Use that promo code ALLDodgers and your free pick and get your free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Thank you for hearing me out, and let's get back into it. And also, thank you, Underdog Fantasy. Let's do this real quick. I have another thing. I'm going to move more things around here on the chat. Look at this. Look at that. That's Dave S.A. pointing out very, very, very good bullpen now. Do you think Tanner Scott is the closer for this team? Because I think I've loved not having a defined closer. Yeah, Michael Kopech picked up the lion's share of save opportunities last year after being traded over. Before that, Philly. But Tanner Scott is like the presumed best closer available. I don't know that they do that. Well, how do you think it plays out?
I don't think I don't think Doc is ever gonna name a defined closer anymore. I think that those years are behind us. I think he thinks in terms of leverage. He thinks, who are my guys in the highest leverage? Who are my guys in medium leverage and low leverage? And Tanner Scott's going to be one of the higher leverage guys. We know Doc likes to ride the hot hand too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Vesia is right, he's also one of the best left-handed relievers at baseball. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
So if I would expect when push comes to shove, depending on matchups, because that's what Doc loves. And I mean, like, not everybody's going to be healthy on a given night. You know, baseball is a long sport. 162 is a long time.
Allegedly.
So I think on any given night, you'll see a split between Kopech and Tanner Scott, taking down the lion's share in save situations, you know, depending if there's a lot of lefties coming up or if there's a particularly troublesome lefty. You know, if we're playing the Mets and Juan Soto is coming up, yeah, we'll probably see Tanner Scott in the 9th or the 7th, whichever. You know, Dave doesn't always think the 9th is the highest leverage inning, which it's not always.
Yep.
So, but I do think it'll be a combination of Scott and Kopech. I like that we have Scott for the reason that I think it takes a little pressure off Treinen. He just threw a lot last year, and I think they need to handle him with kitty gloves at least early on into the season, just to make sure that shoulder's like still attached.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a dude coming off of missing almost two full seasons with a shoulder injury and eventually with shoulder surgery. So he absolutely was willing to let his arm fall off for this team in the postseason, which is why he's one of my postseason MVP picks, World Series MVP picks, even though some people get really mad at me about that. Dodgers do not win that World Series without that dude. But again, like the options there is they are absolutely insane when you add Tanner Scott and still, you know, maybe at some point we've heard, you know, Joe Kelly really wants to come back. It's nice to want to come back, probably doesn't, but you know, Vesia, Banda, Tanner Scott, you got 3 lefties with some pretty wipeout stuff there. Probably adding Dustin May to the mix there. Some point later in the season, coming back from surgery, Brusdar Graterol. Not enough love this offseason probably to add somebody like Edgardo Henriquez, who we talked a little bit about with Casey Porter when he was on the show this week. But, I mean, this is a dude who also throws over 100. This is absolutely filthy when he's right. Emmett Sheehan's going to be back this year. Wroblewski probably ends up in the bullpen in some way, shape, or form in his career. Again, Ben Kasparius, Michael Grove, probably one of the first names on the chopping block when the Dodgers need another roster spot, because it is at 40 now with the addition. Same with Ryan Brazier. He's just owed $9 million or whatever it is. So he's somebody who could be cut if they need a spot on that 40 man. But I think for now, as we sort of shift into what comes next, I don't. What? Oh, that's the wrong button. I don't think we see a whole lot else until spring training actually gets here. Then Kershaw happens. There's going to be somebody put on the 60-day IL, whether, you know, it's somebody like probably not the dudes that can be. Oh, or maybe they sign Kershaw and throw him straight on the IL. I don't know exactly how that works, but people like River Ryan, Kyle Hurt, those are dudes that can be
Brusdar.
There you go, Brusdar. That's probably the main one, because the other dudes, they can technically be minor leaguers and not accrue service time on the major league IL. If those dudes are Gavin Stone is another one. If those dudes are on the IL, then the Dodgers are wasting time and all that kind of stuff. So probably not those dudes, but the point is, great spot. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you segued perfectly into Jason Setterfield's $4.99 super chat. Dodgers put a trade package together of Outman, CT3, Grove, and get a Byron Buxton, Luis Robert Jr., or Nolan Arenado. High upsides on all 3. Let's just throw it this way. If they were to trade for one of those 3, Buxton, Robert, Roberts, or Arenado, who would you want them to trade for? Of the 3.
You asked me a couple years ago. Of course, it's Nolan. I really would love to at some point in my lifetime see Nolan Arenado in a Dodger uniform.
Third base coach seems great.
Third base coach. Somewhere down the road. I don't know. That's tough, man, because Buxton also extremely talented player, but has just so many injury woes. Yeah, no, that's a hard question, man. That's a hard question. I
got to go with Robert. I got to go with Luis.
I think he's the one I want the least. There's not a good name in there. People in the chat really want to see Luis Robert Jr. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, I was wrong about Tanner Scott. Will any of these happen? No, I don't think any of them are happen.
I've been very vocal on how little I want Nolan Arenado, so I don't need to get into that much more. In terms of Buxton, this dude's played 100 games in his career twice since 2015, the same amount of time as Austin Barnes. He's spent that much time on the injured list. On top of that, he's 31 now. I don't need a 31-year-old with a massive injury history on the team. I know if we're gonna talk two players with injury histories, give me the younger one at least, because there's still time for him to, kind of get right. Where I think Buxton, when he's right, is an MVP caliber player. Yeah. Absolutely. But I think those opportunities for him to be right are fewer and much farther between at this point. Yeah, Matty Man 5 dodge. Buxton just pulled his other hammy. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of injuries there. And at least with Robert, I'm gonna keep saying that to the end of time until somebody tells you which one it is.
Robert. Let's go with Robert.
Robert. Okay, let's go with Robert.
Lou Bob.
Lou Bob. I have Lou Bob's easiest. At least with Lou Bob, he's young enough to potentially, play a 150 game season, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird looking career. I'm looking at his baseball ref right now as well. Obviously, he had the huge year in 23 last year, just completely fell off. There's something probably closer to his 21, 22 in the tank than his 23. Very, very good ball player. I personally think, and this is probably a really bad take, I think I'd rather see what Andy Pages has over Luis Robert.
I think so too. I would too.
And then you can bring in Arenado and just figure it out. Again, Arenado, terrible addition. It would be an absolutely horrible addition. Idea. But listen, he wants to be a Dodger. Just let him be a Dodger. JR saying Kershaw at this point should ask for $1 million. He blew our 2019 year. He blew our 2019 year old? What? Oh, phrasing.
Oldest person ever.
Listen, he didn't put himself in to relieve that game. That was not Clayton Kershaw's decision. He just was like, hey, I'll be ready. I'll be ready, coach. What would 22 do? 22 should have stayed his ass in the dugout in that particular Game 5 against the Washington Nationals. Cesar asking, why are we discussing trades? We don't need those guys. And I agree with that. I think more than the idea that they need to add more talent right now. I want to see outside of... Again, people, it's not going to be for $1 million, but Clayton Kershaw will be back. We already know that contract is it's out there, it's floating in the wind, but it's as close to a done deal as you can get. Kiké Hernandez is the only other name where you're like, how is that going to work out? What is the plan? He wants to be back. Dodgers do want him back, but at some point you need a place to be able to play him, let alone fit him on the roster. So. But otherwise, I really want to see this roster kind of cook. Let it play out. See what it looks like for the first month or two. Andrew Friedman's not going to be completely quiet at the trade deadline. There's no way. There's no way that what we see now, what this roster looks like, is going to be what we see in October, which is just how baseball works. But moves will happen, things will happen, injuries will happen, and maybe Andy has to cook in July after all. But I would be I would be kind of sad to not see what this team now post Scott, what it looks like, for again at least a couple of months. Before you add and find any more comments, guys, I want to remind you again please like the show. Please subscribe to the channel. Over 1,800 people joining us live right now through the Twitter and on our YouTube. YouTube is the best spot to watch the show. It's the best spot to comment. That's where we see your comments the most. Either way, we appreciate you joining us. I should also probably throw out, the funny thing is, like, I woke up this morning. I was annoyed because I forgot to turn off my alarm. For some reason, I had set an alarm on a Sunday a couple weeks back. In the last couple of weeks, it's not like a very early alarm. I had it set for 8:05, which just so happened to be about 10-15 minutes after the Tanner Scott news started breaking. And of course, I found out about it the way I found out about a lot of news these days, because I don't need to like worry about news as much as I used to in the past. But I found out on our Discord server, a lot of people joining us on Discord. It's been a very, very fun place to hang out, talk Dodger baseball during the season, during games. I'm looking forward to seeing this group because we've added a lot of people this offseason. Thank you guys for supporting the show. It's been a lot of fun, and it's also been a good spot for finding out what the hell is going on. Listen, if you guys love news aggregation, that's our Discord has been pretty good at doing that. If you want to join our Discord, you do have to be a supporter on Patreon or here on YouTube members. It's $5 a month to help support the show. So if you want to do that, check out patreon.com/realfrg or click the join button here on YouTube, and you can join us on Discord. And you also get the warmth in your soul of knowing you're helping directly support us. That money doesn't go to somebody else, which is annoying and I've had to deal with in the past. One thing that's insane. Let's go. Our friend, Right Field Pavilion, in the chat. Listen, that deserves more lasers. Like, how do I get more lasers? Let's just go. $100 super chat is the point. Dodgers front office is working so hard. They even went as far as to sign a 6'7" kid from Africa. Can't say this enough. It's a great time to be a Dodgers fan. Could not agree more with the Right Field Pavilion. Thank you very much for supporting us, supporting the show. Right Field Pavilion, $100 again is insane. We love you for it. And also, yeah, we haven't talked at all about the other signings, because once the Dodgers added Roki Sasaki with was it 6.5 million in international in spending that much of their international free agent pool, they still went out and got more dudes. Like, yeah, they fuck.
Yeah, they still got all of the players that they had come to the handshake agreement with. You know, this is something that happens. They talk to these players for years. They come, they tell them when they're 14 years old, hey, you're going to sign with the Dodgers. But everybody except for, I think, the one player who went to Pittsburgh. If I remember
there was
correctly.
like one. I mean, you got to imagine these kids desperately want to be Dodgers as well. So, appreciate them. Yeah. Whatever the hell, I haven't looked a whole lot at that either. I don't know who they signed. We've talked about it in Discord a little bit. Right now, I don't remember these names.
Joseph Deng is the player Right Field Pavilion's talking about. He's from South Sudan. Only reason I know that is because he's the first player ever signed from South Sudan, which is sick. And they list him at 6'7", 185 pounds. Boy needs a steak. Can we get this man some food?
Hey, he's gonna be eating. He's gonna be eating as a Dodger. They take care of their team. Steve in the chat loved the W the fuck in there and put the laughing face emoji. Appreciate Peterbilt hanging out with us in the chat. We also had $4.99 super chat from LDBC's Most Wanted. Let's hit the lasers too. This is. I'm assuming this is not. I don't know why. I thought lasers would go to you. I'm gonna fix that. I want us both to have lasers.
I'll get. You can get one of those like popper things.
Yeah, but then you're gonna have to clean it. Your dog might eat the things. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Plus, the kitchen is already dirty enough. I hear.
Clean, damn it.
But
to clean the floor.
LDBC saying Friedman, I'm assuming this is a manufactured quote, saying MLB really hates us after signing Sasaki. You're really gonna hate this. And what I say to the rest of the league, I say that's what I say to the rest of baseball. Jonathan helping us out, looking at the Stream Element tip features. I will look at that. Somebody had brought that up. Diane had brought up Stream Elements recently. I gotta look. OCJ says give homie a flashlight. You can just have a little.
I don't. But it's daylight here. Yeah, I'll get a laser pointer or something.
No,
I think I have a laser pointer.
Then it's gonna be a whole thing. All right, let's talk a little bit about grading this offseason. Let's do now what I feel like. Again, I feel like there's not a whole lot more left that this team wants to do or needs to do more so. So I feel good about doing way too early bold predictions for the season. This will be bold predictions version 1, and we'll just focus on wins, which is another thing. I stole the idea from our Discord because I forget who, but somebody said the Dodgers are going to win 122 games in 2025, which is not going to happen, but also imagine. But a grade. This is an S tier off season. We're beyond A+++. This is S++ off season. Andrew Friedman cooked. He cooked the entire meal. Like you are leaving this party in October. You are leaving it happy. You are leaving a big old full belly of everything that you were hoping for. The finest steaks, the finest taters, the finest appetizers, the nicest desserts, most decadent things you could put in your mouth hole. Phrasing. This is an S tier kind of an off season. What's your grade?
Yes, absolutely. Christopher Navarro says I should get a lightsaber. I second that. Maybe I should get a lightsaber.
No, isn't that kind of Blake's thing?
I like Star Wars too. Blake doesn't get to like corner the market on Star Wars things.
It's
all right?
Blake Williams' market. All right, listen, he's got that. Scotty G has gritty. I have whatever the hell I have, which is backwards hat. Jeff has forward hat. Doug has shoeies. Like, you got to find you got the kitchen. Just make the kitchen
corner the market on one of my childhood loves. Okay, Jesus Christ, I have Star Wars shit too. I just don't wear it. But yeah, in terms of off-season grades, this is an S. It's impossible to top last off-season because it's like Ohtani Yamamoto glass now. But as in terms of following up that offseason, I don't think you could have done any better. They added a 2-time Cy Young winner. They got the number 1, we'll call him prospect in baseball on the team. You get the top reliever on the market. You extend the utility, Tommy Edman, the utility guy, like you mentioned. Teoscar's this could not be any better. I do think what we've talked about, really want to see Kiké back in Dodger blue. So, I'm a happy boy. All right. I'm a happy boy. So
No Name says we need Santander. We are a small market team. We need more players. This is fair. We need a lot more players. Help us out. Jonathan says 108 wins. I think the Dodgers could. Listen, they have some things. I think they could break their single season record, which is 107, right? No, 111. Duh.
11.
You know what? No, scratch that. I forgot about the 111 win season, probably because of what happened in October.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably because I flushed it too.
We all gotta remember that the NL West is very good as well. The Padres, even losing Tanner Scott, they're still a pretty effing good team. Yeah, they won't have Joe Musgrove. They're gonna have maybe some pitching issues more than they had last year. Maybe Michael King regresses. I doubt it in a platform year. Dylan Cease, all that kind of stuff. They're still going to be good, but the Diamondbacks were supposed to be so much better than they were last year, and they got better this offseason. Our friend Tim Rogers joins us. Appreciate you hanging out with us, Tim. Hey, we feeling good this morning, Tim? It feels like a pretty dang good morning to be a Dodgers fan. Of course, guys, follow Tim Rogers on his channel, which I think is still Dodgers 2080. If not, it's Blue Madness here on YouTube. What was I talking about?
The other NL West teams are getting better.
Oh, that's right. The Giants got better. They added Willie Adames. I don't think they're going to be, they've missed out on everybody else they were trying to get. So they're not going to be like crazy good, but they're still going to be a very good ball club.
Yeah, they got better. I mean, Willie Adames is like great player.
So it's hard to see. It's hard for me to see this team going and beating that 111 win season. I still think it's another 100-win season for this team, provided they can stay healthy. If they lose 5 players, they'll live, not 45 players like they lost last year. Let me put a number to it. Fuck, 109. I'm gonna say 109 is on the table. That's probably too much. What's your number?
I honestly think they'll beat 112. I think
really
I think with the new schedule, the fact that we're gonna get to play the White Sox again, we get to play we don't play the NL West as much as we used to, which is in terms of them being a more competitive division, is a good thing. We get to play more bottom tier teams. I think we eventually I think we'll break it, barring health. Again, if a bunch of arms fall off, if something happens to one of the stars, baseball happens. Justin Sutterfield 999 super chat. Jim Bowden screaming for an investigation on the Dodgers is ironic, coming from the guy who was fired after the FBI caught him skimming money from international signing funds. That is
it's not talked about enough online. I really think like people just need to be crapping all over Jim Bowden even harder than he gets. He gets a lot of crap.
He had a good take today. He said, "Why wouldn't anybody want to join the Dodgers?" It's like, okay, yeah, he had to give the safest take imaginable, because I do think he was getting some serious heat.
Let me tell you, he would be great back in the day when people didn't have the internet and couldn't pay attention to things that people said on radio. Like, he would have been fire, but not so much now. Diane agrees with you that the Dodgers are going to break their own 111-win season. Jose Andres says 162-0. I like it. By the way, it was O is Dead who had said in the chat, said on Discord that they were going to win 112 games, which would also, again, be breaking that record. Jonathan had 108, which I think I said. Yeah, I got 109. You got 112 then? Is that the number? Are you sticking with number?
Yeah, I can stick with 112. I mean, how many they won? Did they win exactly 100? Oh, no.
Yeah, it was
98.
They
went 98 and 64 last year with a rotation held together by duct tape and friendship.
Also, I messed up. OS Dead said 122 games, which that's not going to happen.
Oh, that's not happening.
That's pure insanity. Doom Sal is in the chat, by the way. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you here in the chat. Special day to be a Dodgers fan once again. Just Saying says 115. I don't know why I'm writing that one down. We're not going to follow up on a lot of these, but I'm going to write down, because I've done it in the past. I really want to. I'm going to put this up on my board right here so we don't forget about it. So we got S tier grades for the Dodgers and Andrew Friedman, Brandon Gomes this offseason. Cooper Neal, my friend Cooper Neal, great artist in this world, also on the internet. Check him out, Cooper Neal, on Instagram. Designed a lot of the graphics you see here on the show. He did exactly what I did. He says, I just laughed out loud when I saw we signed Tanner Scott, and that was the thing. Like I said, I woke up because my alarm, I looked, and I was like, oh shit. And then that was my first tweet, was just LMAO, because I was laughing my ass off. Like, Tanner Scott, the Dodgers, and we already touched on this one, by the way, which is where is it again? Tanner Scott, what does that say? $20 million signing bonus, $21 million deferred. The Los Angeles deferrals keep on riding. Last thoughts before we get out of here. It's the final thing. Do we now feel bad for the Padres, like, at all?
Absolutely not. Nope. We lived through the early aughts.
That's fair.
And the latter part of the Frank McCourt era. You gotta smoke them while you got them.
Yeah.
While the getting's good, you just gotta enjoy it. And because we've had some lean years, we've had years where there's the fire. Dave Roberts, felt like the sky was falling down. Seager left. JT, we had to suffer through 2 bad years of Cody Bellinger. Like,
it's funny. Even those years, the teams were very, very good.
Yeah, they were still good. They were just getting swept in the freaking postseason. But no, I don't feel bad for the Padres fans or for anybody else. Everyone could and should be doing this. So I think this is where baseball needs to be. Everybody else, where you at?
Step up.
Come on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, step up. I don't even D Fecus. I don't even know what that is. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but it's DFEQZ. Shit, it just went away in there. The only person that he feels bad for is Peter Seidler. The rest can fug off. And yeah, Peter Seidler. He wanted something special for that organization. Diane does not feel sorry for the Padres, which is also fine. We shouldn't feel sorry for the Padres. This is, go out, spend more money. And I was gonna say, I said this to sign off on Dodgers territory on Friday when Alana and I went live. By the way, if you guys missed that show, check it out. It was a lot of fun. Friday night show reacting to the Roki Sasaki deal, but I forgot. Actually, I have the quote, whatever the hell I said. I don't remember what I say sometimes. Listen, guys, my secret is just act like Jim Bowden and you'll get away with it.
But Jim Bowden gets away with it.
He gets away with it. And he's a columnist for The Athletic. I said, if you think the Dodgers are bad for baseball, it's because your ownership is bad for your team. And teams that are crying, Cubs fans that are crying, I'm sorry. MLB teams that are crying, I'm sorry. Toronto Blue Jays, you can feel a little bad about that. At least Toronto, they're actively trying. It's just they have some things going against them. Like we've talked about here. You brought it up in a great Let Kevin Cook segment. They have dudes that maybe, the team we see now is probably not the roster that's out there next season. Vladdy, Bo Bichette, they don't really have pitching. They're in Canada. It's just a lot going against that organization. So, Foop said it earlier. Buck 'em. That's what we're gonna say as we get out of here. I know some people get upset that I curse on this show. Guys, just come on.
It's a show.
It's a show. Listen,
it's a show. We wait 6 minutes so we can't get demonetized, and we're good from there.
Let's go. Oh yeah, that's what we're about. Russ Campbell says deferred money is a scam. All right, well, Dodgers are great at scamming baseball, I guess. Guys, I think that's about it. That's about it. Dodgers do it again. They go out and sign the best reliever that was available on the market. Tanner Scott, 4-year, $72 million deal. He will be in that Dodger bullpen. Might not be the closer, could be the closer, but he's in the mix with a lot of very, very talented arms. We've had a number of voicemails. I'm sorry, guys. I that's the one thing I haven't had time to be able to set up. I promise we will get a bunch of voicemails in either tomorrow night or Tuesday. I'll probably go live on Tuesday because tomorrow we have Teoscar Hernandez joining us on Dodgers territory, and your boy could use a little bit of an evening off on Monday. So let's just pencil in Tuesday. Follow us on social media to know exactly when we are going live. Somebody with I believe they are Japanese characters as a name says rest in peace San Francisco Giants. Yeah. Third place finish for them. Fourth place finish. Sandman Logic, great show. Clint, Kevin, great love to all the Dodgers fans. Hell yeah. Happy Sunday, Clint Nation. It's a special day once again. And this likely takes us in to spring training, Dodgers pitchers and catchers report. Yeah, that's one thing. Somebody said it on Discord as well. Like I am just so ready. My body is so ready for the season to be here. I want to watch this team cook. I want to watch this team. I really want to see Yamamoto for some reason. I want to see a Yamamoto game.
I do too. I do too. Love.
It's gonna be.
He's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. Pitt.
Yeah, damn, it's gonna be a fun season. Hepatitis, see you later. Says now all we need is Rich Hill. I'm good. We got Roki. Good. I am Gucci, my friend. But guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the engagement, the comments, the questions. Thank you so damn much for the super chat. Of course, Right Field Pavilion was our top supporter today with a $100 super chat. You are a legend. You all are legends. And we'll say it one last time. The Dodgers are making it a great time to be fans of this team right now. Thank you to our channel members and supporters on the Patreon and YouTube members side of things. You guys help us keep the lights on more consistently as well. You guys freaking rock. If you do want to join us on Discord and help support the show, check out patreon.com/realfrg or click the join button here on YouTube. All those links are in the description below. If you don't want to do that, the best way to support the show is hitting that like button, subscribing, telling your friends, telling your grandma, tell the mailman about All Dodgers. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. Thank you to the mods for doing a kick-ass job in the chat as always. That is producer Kevin. Give him a follow at Skinner7Kevin. I am Real FRG on all the social media things. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up and a sub on the way out. Subscribing is completely free. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.